Hello and welcome to Sport Tonight. I'm Cecilia Omogbe in Lagos.
You wherever you are in the world watching us. In London, I'm Austin Okonapan. Big nights in Europe, Cecilia, the UEFA Champions League. We're looking for semi-finalists. Halftime at both centers. I'm talking about Stamford Bridge right here in England, where Chelsea is hosting Real Madrid. It's goalless, but N'Golo Kante got a chance to put Chelsea ahead. He didn't take it. Cucurella, just before halftime, got his own chance, didn't take it. Walk with me to the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium in Naples. Surprise, surprise. It's Napoli 0, AC Milan 1. Olivier Giroud missed a penalty in the 22nd minute, but just before halftime, it said sorry to the fans and scored for AC Milan. So it's 2-0 on aggregates now. Can Nigeria's Victor Osimhen and his Napoli teammates come back? Big question, Cecilia.
45 minutes still to play for in that game. And of course, for Cucurella, who couldn't take advantage. And Olivier Giroud was a nice one. He was able to redeem himself because we're thinking after missing that penalty, it would be hard for AC Milan to get, on the score sheet. But somehow, 2 goals on aggregate right now. Napoli will have a long rope to tackle and see if they can get into the semi-finals. So the first time in a very, very long while. All right, this is how the program is looking like at this evening. We'll be talking about the Super Falcons of Nigeria because NFF have announced that they will be having a friendly Europe and also have a 2 weeks camp in Australia before the FIFA World Cup will start July 20. And also we'll talk about the communique that was released by the NFF Executive Committee after that meeting that was held last night. A whole lot they had to talk about concerning the league and also the under-20, the under-23, and of course, the Golden Eaglets will also be on duty this month. And of course, talk about, we have a new host for the under-20 World Cup, Argentina, of course. That's what FIFA, they picked Argentina to host that. We'll talk about that. And the Nigerian Men's Football League Premiership, of course, you just have one more game which is going to take place across our centers on Wednesday. We'll touch down on that. And also a review of what went down in the NPF, that's Nigeria Premier Football League, the games that went down over the weekend. And of course, talk about the draw specialist, Benesurance, 5 in a row, not looking good. Talk about that, of course. We've talked about the UEFA Champions League and the games that will happen on Wednesday, where, according to Thomas Tuchel, it will be a miracle for them to overturn that 3-0 deficit. But then he wants to go there at Etihad to see if he can get a win. But overturning will be a difficult one. So much to talk about on Sport Tonight. And of course, not just doing this alone, no, Austin in London, but then we have, it's a Tuesday, right? So you know the guy we usually have on Tuesday, so he's right here in the studio. It's great to have you join us.
It's good to be here, Cecilia. A whole lot, looking at the rundown, the lineup, exactly. But this NFF executive meeting, there is always something about, discussion to move our own sports forward. And this time is football, so it gets my attention always.
All right, Austin, so let's start off with this one, which is a FIFA confirming the date for the country that is hosting the Under-20 World Cup. Remember, Indonesia were actually stripped of that simply because of political issues going on in that country, refusing Israel, the state that will host them, saying they can't host Israel. Of course, they have issues with each other. But then quickly, FIFA picked a country. We're thinking they might even postpone it. But Argentina coming in, same time, they're not postponing. The date is still May 20. That's when it's starting. Still going to end June 11. The draw ceremony will be done 21st, which is this Friday. So I'm looking at it, how Argentina will be able to pull this off. But then they were the ones who pulled this forward, that they can host this. We don't know how they will be able to do this, but we know that the Flying Eagles of Nigeria will definitely be there.
Definitely, this is what I always talk about. I was talking about it on social media just on Sunday, that infrastructure development is important. Look, when countries know that they have the right infrastructure in place, they would definitely jump up at opportunities as these. And Argentina as a country, Cecilia and Kehinde Idris, they've done so much in promoting football at that level. And this is what FIFA is looking at. FIFA wants a country that will understand the importance of the Under-20 FIFA World Cup. And look, the rest is just logistics and, background works and FIFA will assist Argentina because they understand the situation. It was supposed to be Indonesia. It's not Indonesia anymore. for Argentina to say, look, we're ready to do this, they must have, calculated the gains. They are a footballing country. They would have said to themselves that, look, maybe they even had programs back home that they know hosting this FIFA Under-20 World Cup will put them, in the right position to take off with those projects or even make impact with them. So, look, at this level, Cecilia, it's all development at every level, from preparation to coaching to administration to the football on the pitch to even FIFA. Listen to what FIFA said, that it plays a key role in FIFA's efforts to promote youth football.
Yes.
That's what the Under-20 is all about. So FIFA will even learn from Argentina. Countries around Argentina can even learn that, okay, what is it that Argentina has done to the point that they can just jump up and in short notice say we can host this sort of competition. So I'm actually proud to see that. I'm happy that it wasn't postponed, because this is for development. The young lads are looking forward to it. If there was any form of postponement, it would have been a major setback to the competition. So shout out to FIFA and Argentina for pulling this off.
Yeah, I mean, you have to give them big applause. I mean, they are world champions, and they did not even qualify for this. I remember where NFF actually set out that the Flying Eagles have qualified. They talked about the teams that have taken Nigeria out, and they mentioned Argentina, more like celebrating that they are not here. But right now, they're hosting, and of course, you have Argentina. Yeah. So, I mean, Kende.
There you go. There you go.
This is really not funny for me, and of course, for the Flying Eagles of Nigeria. But then, when the draw is done on Friday, we'll know which country Nigeria will be facing. Kende, for you, I mean, Argentina pulling this, or what can we actually learn from a country like this?
It's the fact that you have to always be prepared. One of the reasons why countries, run for, hosting of competitions is to expose their country.
Yes.
If you hear Curacao, today getting to host a competition, everybody will turn their eyes, their attention towards that country. What is actually, what is making you that thick that you want to host the entire world? This is the Under-20 World Cup. Yes, it's not at that scale of the Senior World Cup, but still the Under-20 World Cup will get attention. Some people are football followers, whichever level. If you call it Under-7 World Cup, they would be there. And that tells you that there will be people from around the world. And also, for the countries that will be taking part, they would have people coming into the country. So that tells you, you should always be prepared. We've seen recently Morocco coming to the rescue of a tournament and all of that. Countries get ready for anything, eventualities. And when it comes to hosting, there is a whole lot for you to gain. So many times, the populace, the citizenry, would always talk about, we don't have this money, that money, and you're hosting competitions and all of that. For those who take up that responsibility, they know in the long run, there is more money to come. People will now take, oh, there is a tourist center in this country. There is this beauty and all of that. People went to Russia, and I saw people writing, talking about, different angles for you to enjoy in Russia, where so many people have always been like, no, Russia is not a place for me. But when you hear those talks, you want to be there. Rio, Brazil, and all of that. If people come to Nigeria today, after we host a tournament, trust me, if you're getting tourism, numbers, maybe 100, it will just rise to 1,000, because you'll find those 100 returning stories to those people in their country saying, what I saw, I will be back. And it'll be like, if you want to be back, I will come back. So there is a whole lot economically for these countries. It's not just that they want to splash money where they won't get a return. They will definitely get a return. Then ultimately, football also wins in that country. And this is about football. So for Argentina, these are countries that, quote and unquote, when you're talking the kind of economy they've got, I think a country like mine, I've even got a more robust one.
Yeah.
But we don't look at this bigger picture. They look at it, and that's why Argentina is here. And on the footballers, as you said, Nigeria have been taken out by this country. Now they are here. Whether the draws gets to favor us or not, I know an Argentinian team will get out of the group stage. So we'll still get to beat them at the knockout round if you get out of the group stage.
No,
one way
we'll
or
meet
the
them
other.
in the final. And then this time around, we'll beat them if we get them.
Better you meet them even before the final, because meeting them in the final and losing to them in the final is more painful. I think the big LOBs will tell you.
They can be Senegal or Spain. I mean, you can win the World Cup and also win the under 20. You have to share it.
Yeah. Okay, you said it can be Senegal or Spain. Let's wait and see.
No, these countries, I mean, Spain, remember when they won the World Cup, they went to win Euros and everything. So they
France also did that. So Euros, World Cup and all of that. Some countries, when they get into that state, I think it rubs off on every other team. So I think Argentina might just have that feel now.
It's time for Nigeria to win on the 20th.
Okay, let's wait and see. Fingers crossed.
All right, let's talk about what happened, Austin. I mean, let's go to Abuja. What happened with the Nigerian Football Federation Executive Committee meeting that was held on Monday? You know, we've been talking is long time overdue. We wanted to know what's with the league, what's with the board. I mean, we had everything before this new board came in. And so right now they had to meet and, of course, give us an idea of what they really want to do. Let's just take a look at the bullets of points and the key points before we dissect everything concerning what the NFF wants to do when it comes to the league body. Now, this is one of the key points you have right here. And, of course, they said within 1 month, they're going to constitute boards for the NPFL, the NNL, the NWFL, and also the NLO. So it simply means that within 1 month, so we're expecting maybe around May, May, that's when they will have this board set up. So another one is charging the Golden Eagles to win the Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations, which is taking place in Algeria, starting 29th of this month. And, of course, also charging the Flying Eagles to win the Under-20 World Cup for Nigeria. Of course, the tournament is taking place in Argentina, starting May 20th. But we need to take a look at the group first. After the draw, we'll know if Nigeria will have that possibility. Remember, London must have invited how many players to camp? 39, right? That's a whole lot. You also have, okay, these are the key points coming from that executive meeting. You also have another one saying that they will have to prepare the Super Falcons for the FIFA Women's World Cup that is taking place in July, starting July 20th. And of course, not just that, they also want to have a 2-week camp for the Super Falcons before that particular tournament will start. And not just that, they will also will play a Grade A friendly in Europe. Remember, the coach has been talking about he wants to play European nations, so we have the opportunity to do that next month. Also, any perceived lackadaisical attitude by any player wearing Nigerian colors at international level will no longer be tolerated. So all the players will have to be in their best behavior when it comes to wearing the national colors. This is coming from the executive committee meeting that was held by the Nigerian Football Federation on Monday night in Abuja. So, Austin, let's dissect it, starting with the one when they mentioned that within 1 month, they want to have the NPFL, the NWFL, the NLO, and of course the NNL, all the leagues across Nigeria having a board. Right now is the ones, I mean, NWFL, I don't know how they've been operating, but because since Aisha Falode is now a member of the Executive Committee of Nigerian Football Federation, so you have the CEO who is actually in charge of it right now, but now they want to have a board on it, and I hope the one for NWFL will be able to surpass what Aisha Falode's board did, because she has set the standard for them to follow.
That's what I'm talking about, Cecilia. And when the NFF comes out with this sort of communique, they forget to ask themselves questions, you know. So someone start wondering, how have we been running football in Nigeria if all the while you've not been able to constitute boards into the different leagues? And that's the first step, you know, leadership, you know, put things in place so persons can be held accountable, so people will know their roles and responsibility. That's project governance. It's as basic as it can get. But I'm glad that now they've decided to wake up from their sleep and say to themselves, what are we doing? So 1 month, constitute that board. Let's have persons, you know, responsible for the different functions in running the MPFL, the NNL, the NWFL, and the NLO. This is the bedrock of Nigeria's football, the league. This is where development starts. This is that process that you need to keep oiling if you want your football to keep doing well. This is where it starts. So I'm waiting to see if they can get that board in place. Let's know the different persons that will be controlling the affairs of the different leagues so that we can take it forward. Bullet number 2, can we stop charging age grade competitions to go and win? Let's just wish them well and do your part. Because if you keep putting pressure on young talents to just go out there and win, you start bringing the win at all cost syndrome that even the players cannot control. We make the same mistakes all the time. Now coaches will be under pressure. Agents will find a way now to go and bribe coaches. Scouts will come, and then it will get messed up. Age cheats will become an issue also. So just wish them well. Sometimes it's not what you say, it's how you say it. We did so well at the African Championship. We got bronze. We were so close except losing to Senegal and one other team. How about we consolidate on that experience? I'm talking about the Flying Eagles. Same with the under-17. The under-17. The Nduka Ogbade understands grassroots football. How about we will work closely with Nduka Ogbade to ensure that when they go to the African competition, they will give Nigeria a good representation. How you say it, particularly at the age grade level, is very, very important. Chad the Super Falcons. With the Super Falcons, they're a big team. They have done so well. They've got quality. And their tradition at the World Cup is something that can go well for them. We had Onoma AB on this show the other day, and she told us that they are pumped up, they are supercharged to go to this World Cup and make a difference. But what we'll ask them is when they don't give the Super Falcons the sort of preparation that they need for the World Cup, those grade A friendlies want to see them, want to ensure that everything is fine. Bullet number 5. Any perceived lackadaisical attitude by any player wearing Nigeria's colors at international level will no longer be treated with kid gloves. Hello, Nigeria Football Federation, are you kidding me? When you say this sort of things and then players are hearing that you've not paid allowances, the coaches are being owed, infrastructure is still a problem. You think these players are not complaining about the playing pitches that the NFF takes them to all the time? Should we treat the NFF with kid gloves? Do your job. Do your part so that when you are leading, the people following you will see that you've led by example, Cecilia.
Yeah, I mean, you totally broke it down here, but I mean, Kehinde will have something to add to this one. So, Kehinde, which one are you starting with? With the one more constituting of board, or with the Super Falcons, or with the Golden Eaglet charged to win the under-17 African competitions and the under-20?
I think I'll start from the last one.
Okay, which is like
wearing colors and all of that. I think sometimes we don't understand what setting precedents mean, what attending to issues swiftly, apt, then also, pronouncement of whether it's, I'll call it punishment, thereabout. When you stay in a place and you see those in front of you, big names, huge stature, doing, great things, and then they falter. And then you see the hammer drop on them. Like I said, swiftly.
Yeah.
As apt as possible.
As what MPFL is doing right now.
It's doing right. IMC.
Yeah, IMC. Yeah.
Yes. And then you who is up and coming, you're seeing this very big name, get it, whether it's a setup, a franchise, or it's an individual. You're seeing this. Trust me, you don't need to be told that this would happen to you. That is what so many countries, so many, associations that have gone on to be very enviable. That is what they start with. Punishment. Just, break that line up. Yeah. You continue to do this. Whether you're, son of the soil, whichever thing you carry, they let you understand. Whenever you bother around the laws, you get punished. And that is what, when I saw that like that, see, we've seen so many of them. But also, we've also heard a lot of this kind of talks. We'll punish for this, we'll punish for that. The next thing you will see, it would happen, was swept under the carpet, prolonged, hearings and all of that. And then before you know, you don't hear anything. If this can be done
swiftly,
that is where we start to overturn the fortunes of our football, because this is football discussion. Okay. And then when we start to overturn all of these boards we are talking about, the MPFL, the NWFL, NLO, NNL, we'll just take leave from all of this. Okay, we have a governing body who is ready to take on anybody or any setup whether it's your club or, you know, your whichever way. And then when you take leave from there, you see everybody getting into place. Then the charging of under 17, charging of under 20, the Super Falcons will be a thing of normal. You don't need to charge them because they understand.
You've done your best.
You've done your part. We now have to go and win. Like I always make this example, the Three Lions trickled down all the English club, women and all of that. When they play their qualifiers, they don't ask about their allowances, they don't ask for this and all of that. All they want to do, they want to qualify for competition. Because number one, they trust the body who are in charge of all of this. Our welfareism, our allowances, and all of that. They know they wouldn't. And if they go ahead and do any, there is the English body who would come clamping down on them. And that is what we need to create, an environment, an atmosphere where everybody trusts everybody. And when there is anybody herring, then there will be a punishment. So when we do that, trust me, we don't need to charge. We will continue to win every day.
All right. But we need to go on a break, and we'll be back after this. All right, Austin, let's talk about the NPFL, of course, games, or you still have something to add concerning everything they set up. Would I said that, right? Or you listen to what Bolu was trying to, Kehinde was trying to point out that if you set a precedent, which you also mentioned, every other thing would definitely fall into place. Players won't have to, you know, worry about allowances, welfare, and everything, which we hear. So if you do that, obviously, I mean, no one is going to have that Lakaskode attitude towards training or wearing the colors of the Nigerian jersey.
Leadership shows the way. And if it's trusted leadership, people will follow. So when you come with these subtle threats to players, because this is targeted at players, they are the ones that wear the national colors, you know. I'm saying to the NFF, look at the man in the mirror. What is the NFF also doing? Should we start talking about the last complaints? Some of these players don't just want to come out to talk and be distracted, but they are not happy. See the situation with the bus, where they were all merged into one bus in Abuja. Look at the playing conditions, you know, where they look. NFF should just do the right thing. Before we get into the MPFL, Cecilia, let me give you updates coming from Stamford Bridge. It's a story of when you have your chances and you don't take it, you get punished. Rodrigo has given Real Madrid the lead. It's now Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 1. Rodrigo scored that goal in the 58th minute, so it's now 3-0 on aggregates. Seems like it's end of the road for the Blues.
Okay, I was waiting for something special to happen tonight, but then we still have so many minutes to play for the Blues. I hope they don't exit the Champions League tonight. All right, let's take a look at the NPFL, of course, games that were played over the weekend, starting with the draw specialist. I'm talking about Remo Stars and Benin Insurance. Benin Insurance, for the 5th time, they're drawing. I think we're used to this. We just want something different next time they're playing, something different that we can talk about. And, of course, it was Divine who gave them that helped them to get a draw at Remo. Both goals were scored in the first half of the game. It was end-to-end game, but somehow Insurance had the upper hand in this one. Plateau United and Akwa United. This game ended 1-1 in favor of Plateau United. It was a penalty. Ibrahim Mustafa who scored that penalty for them to get that all 3 points. So it was Plateau United 1, Akwa United 0. Kwara United and Imba won by 2-1. Ekaname and Shooting Stars settled goalless. And Nasarawa United and Gombe, it's 1-0, not a good result for Nasarawa, who are at the bottom of the group. And move over to Group B. Rangers got a point against Niger Tornadoes. Bayelsa United and Lobby Stars 2-0. Doma United and Wiki Tourist Doma winning by 2-0. Rivers United and Dakar Rivers won by long goal. And Abia Warriors and Sunshine Stars, it was 2-1. So we're going to be talking about the Plateau United game first. That game, of course, we covered that right there in Jos, where it was Musa Ibrahim who gave that penalty in the 36 minutes, and that was the only goal they could score against Akwa United. They could have done better, or they missed their chances. Akwa United had chances, hit the post, but then it just didn't.
I think this is the reason why a lot of persons in the Super 6 are saying they will be tilting towards a team from Group A to win the league this season. Akwa United, Bendel Insurance, Enyimba, Remo Stars play 2 all as sublime team. No disrespect to teams from Group B, But you look at the pedigree, you look at the stature, you look at what they are bringing to the table. I think in Group A already they are playing their super team. As in, they play every week, and it seems like you're playing a super team already. So it's a no-brainer the way it is. For insurance, yes, they are the draw specialists, but also they are chasing something very special. Aqua United set that record for the most unbeaten run, 15 games, on the trot, on the bounce. Insurance are on 14 games, and we have about 4 games to play in the regular season. So they are on the verge of probably, if they get to draw or win the next game, then they've equaled that 15 games unbeaten run, and probably we might just see another record, 16 or 17, and they look like they can do that.
All right, let's listen to both coaches reacting to this game, of course, bringing Austin in for everything.
We prepared very well. Just the nature of the game. Football, it's a round object that you can't predict it. We had every hope that we score more goals than 1 goal, but it turned out to be like that. There was this anxiety in our boys. They had a lot of anxiety. So if a player's mind has been set to anxiety, it's always very difficult for him to play what he is supposed to. Because we needed the 3 points, even with more goals. That was what they were told. Let's play and score goals.
We didn't play bad. We play according to our tactical plans, but it doesn't work the way we want it. The way we want it to be. So, and the penalty came just like that, and they took the advantage of the penalty, and that is the end of the game. So, no problem. We go back home to go and re-strategize. Yeah, I think after the first half, I told them we studied the team. We knew quite all right that their main strength is from the middle and through the flank. So we have to cut them off there. So on the point of counter attack, that we can be able to get our goal. And the counter came and the goal hit the bar. So that's hard luck from Richie's side today. Yeah, we are going back home to go and work on our next home game, which is very important for us now. So haven't drew at home and lost 1-8 away game. We need to go and recover the point back. So we are going to do everything humanly possible to make sure that we get our team as well, so that we can sustain our position in the table.
I mean, Bayern Insurance, another draw. They came also from a goal down to draw this one, and it was against Remo Stars. You know, we talked about how this game was going to be because of the history they have coming from NNL. Austin?
Yeah, Cecilia, I was just trying to get what you said there. Yeah, Bendel Insurance and Remo Stars. If you ask Bendel Insurance which of these draw results they cherish the most, it would definitely be this one against Remo Stars. And while we bother about, and that's the goal scored by Divine, what you could tell you, this is some training ground stuff. Monday Odige has done a great job with this Bendel Insurance team. If we were to question everything happening to this team, you will not question their character, because they keep coming back to achieve these draw results. It's not like they are giving up when they are leading a goal up and then the opponents come back. They always go down and then they come back. It's now 5 draws in a row, but again, it's still better than 5 losses. And they are home and dry for the Super 6. It's just for them to keep getting better as a team. You know, and against Remo Stars, I saw their composure. Each time you score this team, they find a way to come back right away. They conceded that goal, and 4 minutes later, Divine Wachiku brought Bendel Insurance right into it. Look, the league has been so competitive, and Kenny Idris said it so well, that Group A is the group that has gotten us talking. But don't take your eyes off Group B. Group B is also competitive. Bayelsa United humbled Lobby Stars 3-0, and that has taken Robert Mizo to 9 goals this season. It's just 1 goal that Obioma Chukwuemeka of Eimba, that's what makes the difference. Obioma is on 10, Robert is on 9. Bayelsa United are scoring. Surprise package of the season, they are scoring also. Rivers United are the defending champions in Group B. So by the time we get to Super 6, it will be a different competition entirely. But gracious goodness, Doma United, they have said, look, you guys will not stop talking about us, and that's what they're doing. Rangers, for instance, don't want to play this season. The only thing they will just say to themselves is, let's not get relegated, because they were leading Niger Tornadoes 2-0 at halftime, and somehow the Flying Antelopes, they're not flying anymore. Ended that one 2-2. So we've seen nothing but competitive league football with this abridged season. I just hope that the Super 6 will get us talking some more, Cecilia.
All right, let's take a look at what the table is looking like, because we talked about how competitive that Group B is. But let's start off with Group A. What is really looking like now? The points are really not so high the way it was when Better Insurance started their winning streak. And right now, 7 wins and 7 draws. I mean, they've recorded it at 28 points after that goal difference of 10. They're yet to lose. The only team remaining unbeaten this season. Eyimba second, Aqua United third. Remo Stars have to drop. They were docked 3 points and also 3 goals. That's the reason they've dropped to 5th. Nasarawa and, of course, Economy completing what you have. But these two sides are bottom of the league. So for Super 6, where they are these 3, they want to maintain this position and get into that. See how big these teams are. We flip over to Group B. What is like Lobby Stars, Rivers, Doma United. I mean, Austin, you have to give it to these guys what they've done this season. They qualify for Super 6. It's going to be another one of the biggest upsets you have, especially when you have a team like Rangers International in this group. But then this is what's looking like with Lobby Stars having lost 4, Rivers United 2, but then they have a game in hand. But the draws just like Insurance, they have 5 draws, but Lobby Stars have won more games than any other team this season. They've won 8 overall. Not even Better Insurance have won up to 8. They've won 7 in all. So we'll wait and see what's going to happen subsequently. So just just wait and take a look at what NWFL is like. The games for Wednesday is also a crunch time for NWFL, simply because you have so many games. It's the last day of the NWFL. All right, Bayelsa Queens already qualified. They are hosting Nigeria Tales. They don't have a chance at all to make it to the Super 6. Delta Queens, of course, unbeaten. Will Rivers Angels end that when they go to Asaba on Wednesday night? We'll find out after 90 minutes on Wednesday night. And for Heartland Queens and Rio Queens, they're not going anywhere. They're just trying to complete and stay in the league. We flip over to what Group B is like. Nasarawa Amazons here. This is the team that wants to get into that Super 6 spot. They will try as much as possible to beat Adabawa Queens and see if they can get into get that slot that they so much wanted, but hoping that the other team, FC Robo, will lose. Abia Angels, of course, they're not going anywhere also, but Edo Queens have already qualified for the Super 6. We just have 1 slot left for that Super 6. FC Robo will be hosting Confluence Queens, who already qualified for Super 6. So, Kende, let's start off with this one. Now, this is looking dicey. Nasarawa Amazons, they're home, but FC Robo, they're also home. Yeah. So you have these 2 teams, they're playing at home. They want to get the slot into the final slot that is left for the Super 6 in NWFL.
Exactly, and I think this is recipe, interesting enough for any league around the world. The way it's been set up, they both started a bit slowly, picked up later, and now I guess there will be ruined points that they lost at the start of the season. But whichever one that gets to represent at the end of the day in the Super 6, I think they will be amazing. For me, there's a little bias towards Robo Queens because of the whole Lagos Connect, but I love what Nasarawa Amazons have been able to do, with that team, especially this season. I want to see equal chances. You're both at home, so use any advantage humanly possible and nothing, illegal, to get all 3 points. And when you do, I think Robo have got the edge if they get all 3 points. So we'll wait and see. Fingers are crossed, tempers are high, and the emotions are flying everywhere. We want to see how it goes. Like I said, any of them, I will just be okay.
Yeah, Austin, a quick one on this one. FC Robo, the last time they played the game was 7-1. That was how they beat Ibom Angels. Of course, they've already relegated. But FC Robo are home, hosting Confluence Queens on Wednesday night. Can they be able to, get that slot?
I know they'll win, and also Nasarawa Amazons will win their game. But it comes down to who's going to score more goals. Yeah. Who's got a more difficult match? It's definitely FC Robo. And I say this because of the achievements of Confluence Queens this season. Yeah. They are second on that Group B table. So FC Robo Just need like a 1 or 2-0 win, and I hope that Nasarawa Amazons don't hammer Adamawa Queens. I don't see that happening too, but Nasarawa Amazons will do just enough to win it. So at the end of the day, FC Robo, they've got just one mission into this final game. Just beat Confluence Queens. It's tricky because Confluence Queens, they understand that you are as good as your last match, particularly as we get ready for the next phase of the league. So they might come to Lagos and spoil the party. So Robo needs to stay focused, get the job done, and that's beating their visitors.
All right. Okay. Let's quickly go to the Champions League. Our time is running out. Just take a look at. We'll still have Austin. What's the updates coming from there? Still
that's what it is. That's what you've got. That's what you've got on your screen. I told you, Chelsea, they had an opportunity to kill this game. They didn't take it. Real Madrid, I think it was Rodrigo. At first half, he tried a decent effort. He struck the side of the goalpost. Rodrigo got an opportunity in second half, 58 minutes to be precise. Took it to give the visitors the lead. It's now 3-0 on aggregate. But Napoli, they are pushing, they are fighting. But it's like AC Milan, they've said they want to advance to the semi-finals. It's tough because Nigeria's Victor Osimhen is playing in that one, but it's still 1-0 right there in Naples, Cecilia.
All right, for the games on Wednesday night, of course, is Bayern. And the big one, obviously, is Bayern and Manchester City. Manchester City at home. And Pep Guardiola has been talking about, he's got, we know that Bayern Munich, they have history. And, of course, not just the history that they have, but the fact that he feels they're not going to be playing history that night. They're just going to be playing a Bayern. Yeah. 3-goal lead. All they need to do, maintain that, and they're in the semi-finals again.
It's as simple as that. So many times, but Pep Guardiola knows how to help you, feel more confident that you already have. Everything he's been saying, Bayern can be this, can be that. I think he's actually not meaning it from deep inside, but he has to say it for the press. For Man City, they know what to do. Early goal, kill the game, kill their morale, kill their confidence, and all of that. But if you don't do that, then prevent them from scoring. It's as simple. Already Bayern are half killed. 3-0 to overturn against this kind of sharp Man City team, I think that's tough enough.
Yeah, the way Man City are playing this right now, I mean, this is their best for 14 games unbeaten. That's what they're having currently. So it's the wrong time to actually play a team like Man City. Hence, Tuchel is saying that they need a miracle to be able to overturn the 3-0 deficit.
Right after that 1-1 draw against RB Leipzig, I listened to Pep Guardiola, and he told people that, look, that's the sort of result that they need to get into their elements. And right after that match, go and check the records of this Pep Guardiola's team. Manchester City, they've been on a fine run. They are now putting so much pressure on Arsenal. They look so good to advance to the semi-final of the UEFA Champions League. And this team has one objective, to keep getting better. This month, 32 Premier League goals. Haaland, I don't know what to say about this guy other than it's about time for us to test him. Let's listen to Pep Guardiola. He's speaking ahead of that return leg at Bayern Munich.
Still, I see the point that Pep mentioned. We thought actually that we turned it around. We thought
I don't understand the situation that come here just to defend something. We come here to play one football game. 11 men against 11 men. That we try to do better than the opponent in this specific game. If you think about just the result, on what you have to do or we have done in the past will be a big mistake for us. We have to do our game, and that we talk these last days and prepare the game for.
All right, Austin, I mean, we need to wrap this up because our time is so gone. I mean, Pep Guardiola talking about this particular game they will be playing on Wednesday night, simply because Bayern are not a team that you want to put all your hopes on.
Yeah, you know, he needs to respect his opponent. Bayern Munich, they're a big team in Europe, but we know it's all mind games. Pep and his team, they're staying focused. They're not going to blow that 3-0 lead that they got from the first leg. So they have one mission in Germany. Even if they are to lose, don't lose more than 1 or 2-0, and then they will be through. Cecilia, that's it. I think it's time to go.
Yeah.
But more news before we leave. Now at Stamford Bridge, 80 minutes played. It's Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 2.
Oh,
that's
okay.
where we should leave it, Cecilia.
All right.
In London, I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember, keep talking sports. Bye for now.
All right. Kendi, yeah. Just going home.
Exactly.
Okay. No miracle, yeah, it didn't happen.
And I think Napoli is now understanding what Tottenham went through over 2 legs. It's good to be here.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Cecilia Mogbe. Have a great night, right?